The first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship took place on August 10th, 2003. It was held in Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. Besides the event itself, it also had some side attractions, such as playing the new video game Stairway of the Destined Duel on Game Boy Advance, and other tournaments such as a trivia tournament where you can actually win free cards from the recently released pack Pharaonic Guardian. For the tournament itself, the championship packs were of course Cannon, the Sword Mistress, Victory Dragon, and Black Luster Soldier. All cards were legal at the time. Now for the winner was Ning Young Lung. Hope I'm not butchering that, from Hong Kong. He controlled Hand Control Yadalog, a deck that gets rid of your opponent's hand and making sure they never draw another one. In this series, I'm here to play every single World Championship deck that has ever won. The point in this series is to show why some of the cards in the World Championship decks are banned today, and why other cards that were in those decks that were thought to be good at the time are no longer the case today, and to see if every single World Championship deck can still win a game in today's current format. This is the history of Yu-Gi-Oh's World Championships. Hello everybody, my name is Coglam3639. Welcome to the first episode of the history of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship. Now, I kind of explained in the intro of what this series is going to be all about. But before we go into any of the deck or anything, I would like to I was inspired to make this series by, of course, Simo, because of his current series of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where he covers like every format, not just one World Championship deck, and his progression series. The intro is kind of similar to what his intros for those videos are. I just wanted to put that out there. Yes, I was inspired by it, but I think the idea of the series is a little more. I don't want to say original than what he does, because I feel like people have already done this before, but it's going to be my crack at it. So yeah, this is the first ever World Championship deck that was in 2003. Another thing, make sure that the World Championship was in New York or in Madison Square Garden. That was the only information I was able to find. And if it did, amazing. I'm not going to blame it, but I have my doubts on that. But again, it could be right, but if it is wrong, tell me in the comments down below. But yeah, this was the first ever World Championship deck. It was basically hand control Yada Lock. So basically, you'd make sure they have no hand, attack with Yada Garatsu, and then they can't draw for next turn. And you just keep summoning Yada Garatsu infinite amount of times until they're down to 0 life points. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the card by card. We have the 3 Gemini Elf. This was the most powerful monster in the game that did not require a tribute summon, or did not have like downside effect. Like Dark Elf has 100 more attack than this, but does require 1,000 life points to attack with. You do have the 1 Jinzo, which I think was limited at the time. Oh boy, this is a good card at the time. It's no longer the case now, but again, this could be a really good card to rely on in these duels. Gaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. Oh, I forgot to say, we are going to do 3 duels in this episode. I might extend it if we do more in the future to more like 5 duels and then 1 best 2 of 3. I'm not doing a best 2 of 3 in this video. I'm just doing single duels. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. I do go Gaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. So basically, when this card attacks, you can banish 2 monsters from your opponent's graveyard, and your opponent cannot banish while this card's on the field too. We got Donzaloo. This is more just with the hand control style. If it inflicts damage, it discards 1 card. We have the Mystic Tomatoes, which can basically just be a recycle or a defensive card kind of thing. When the card's destroyed by battle, you can summon another one that can be a defensive cycle for us. We have 1 Witch of the Black Forest, 1 Sangan, again, just searchers for the deck. Magician of Faith, which was limited at the time with Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest, which can search out our spells, which we're going to get into. You can see most of the banned cards in this deck right now is the spells. And then we got the Sinister Serpent. We got this Fiber Jar that's currently banned right now. Each player shuffles their entire hand, field, and graveyard back to the deck. Notably enough, it doesn't include Banished, but, just basically just a reset of the duel. We got the Yada Garatsu, which can just shut down opponents from drawing what? So ever. This is basically your end thing to make sure they never draw again. Now onto the spells, and oh boy, this should get spicy. We got Snatch Steal and Change of Heart to take control of monsters. We have the Forceful Sentry, Delinquent Duel, and Confiscation to get rid of hands. Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity. Oh boy, to draw cards. We get Pot of Greed with no downside. That's going to be amazing. We got the Mirage and Nightmare as well for our draws. We got the Heavy Storm and the Harpy Feather Duster for back roll removal. And there's one more we'll get into. We got the Dark Hole and Regeki to get rid of monsters. And then Monster Reborn and Premature Burial to revive monsters. We got the Nobleman of Crossout. This card was powerful at the time because there was a lot of setting in that game, a lot of flip monsters. But now in today's game, this is just going to be a Garnet in hand. We got the 3 MST. Now this has been power creep to the game thanks to cards like Twin Twister and Cosmic Cyclone, but it's still a good card on its own. Now into the traps, we got the 3 drop off, more of the hand destruction play with that. The Mirror Force, which was limited at the time. We got a Ring of Destruction, which should help us as well. We got the Imperial Order, that should be fun, and Call of the Haunted. Now you might be asking, what do you do with the erratas? Now, if you don't know, Witch of the Black Forest, Sangan, Sinister Serpent, Ring of Destruction, and Imperial Order all have errata effects. Now, meaning they used to have an overpowered effect before, and then they changed their effect in a way to make it less powerful. As an Imperial Order, you didn't need to pay the life points. You can just not pay it and then destroy it. Now it's no longer optional. You must pay the 700. So what was my thing going into this? I just decided just to play with the post-errata cards. Again, this is not going to be a problem like in 3 videos down the line. It's only for the early decks. But yeah, so I just decided to go with post-erratas. I know pre-erratas are, the reason why these decks were good, but I am going with the post-erratas. So if you hate me for that, I got nothing else to say to you. That's what I'm going to do. Now, we do got a side deck, but again, like I said, we're only doing single matches in this case, so there's really nothing else. But if I was going to use a side deck, you can definitely see Book of Moon and Torrential getting in there with a Scapegoat as well. So without further ado, without further ado, let's get into the... We're now on to the first duel. Now, this is just more of, as you can see, I'm versing a hero deck. Now, this is just kind of just to show you what the deck can do. This is not going to count as one of our 3 duels. This is just kind of showing you what the deck can do. Now, the Elemental Hero is going first. He decides just to set 3 and pass turn, kind of what you would see in what 2003 would be. Draw for turn, I do get the Forceful Sentry. I do activate Nobleman Crossout, banishing that face down. I activate MST, getting rid of one of his back row. Activate the second MST, getting rid of the other back row. I summon Don's Luke, activate Forceful Sentry, getting rid of one of his cards in hand, and then attack with Don's Luke, getting rid of the other card. My set is drop off as well. So when he draws for turn, I do activate Drop Off, getting rid of that one card, and he does just quit the duel at this point. So yeah, that's kind of what the deck can do. Make sure your opponent cannot play. Just to make sure your opponent can't play whatsoever. That's what the point of the deck was back in 2003. As you saw in that example, there's really nothing he can do afterwards. So yeah, but now, with the examples out of the way, now let's get into one of our official... First duel up, and as you can see, I am versing a danger deck, but as you can see in his current hand, he doesn't have a single danger card, so kind of a brick for him for right now. So yeah, he is going first though. He's going first. He just decides to activate the Dimensional Shifter, set the 2 Super Polys, and pass turn. Now, in any other game, that would screw him, but again, since we're using the YCS 2003 deck, it doesn't really affect him that much. We do activate MST during our turn, getting rid of one of the Super Polys. We do summon Mystic Tomato, attacking directly for 14, and pass turn, and we do set Call of the Haunted as well. He dolls into Danger Bigfoot, activates Danger Bigfoot. Pragertots does get discarded in that case. Danger Bigfoot gets summoned. Danger Bigfoot does draw a card with that summon. Draws into a Thunderbird, activates Thunderbird. Thunderbird discarded, gets destroying the Call of the Hunted, and Bigfoot will attack over Mystic Tomato. We do activate Mystic Tomato, summoning the Don Zalug. And now he just does pass turn with that. Now with this, we do activate Snatch Still, trying to get rid of his Bigfoot, and then there's the other Super Poly going into the Venom card, and we just do set a Fiber Jar pass turn. Maybe, just maybe, we can reset this duel. He draws into a Thunderbird, though, getting rid of the Fiber Jar. So, well, that was fun while it lasted. Does 28 directly, and then does pass turn. Does not look somewhat good. We draw into a Mirror Force. We set the Mirror Force and a Magician of Faith and pass turn. He draws into a Grand Maju. He does some of the Grand Maju attack with the Venom. Over the Magician of Faith, we get its effect, adding Snatch Still back, and he does do the 400 with Grand Maju. Now going to my turn, I draw into a Drop-Off. Snatch Still into his Venom, which is absolutely amazing. Monster Reborn, his Danger Bigfoot, and all of a sudden, things have changed. We attack with Danger, the Venom card that I don't know the name of, attack with Danger Bigfoot, pass turn, and, well, before all this was a Danger deck, so Drop-Off could have been, wouldn't have mattered, but he draws a Pot of Desires, and then I drop off for a turn. He does gain 1,000 life points, but he does surrender because he knows he's kind of screwed. Man, I was not expecting to win a match against a Danger deck, but, you know, he did brick for that turn. We'll take. Man, we actually won a duel with this deck. I was not expecting that. But hey, we'll take it. Let's see what this deck can do against... Oh, looking across the pond, we have an Eater of Millions. This looks like a Gren Maju deck, which could be a problem for us. So, let's see if we can win this one. I do choose to go first here. Activating the Graceful Charity. Look at that. Draw the 3 cards. We get a Heavy Storm, Drop-Off, and Jinzo from that draw. Discarding a Drop-Off and a Witch of the Black Forest. Setting Witch of the Black Forest, and I forgot, and an Imperial Order. He activates Eater of Million, banishing his entire extra deck to summon Eater of Million. Activates a Pot of Desires, drawing 2, and all of a sudden Eater of Million's at 25. Activates Dimensional Future. I try to Imperial Order. Twin Twisters! The Imperial Order is shit, and that shit's going through. Activates a Lure of Darkness, drawing 2 more spells, meaning he has to discard his entire hand. Now I do draw a Harpy's Feather Duster here, and then we'll pass. I forgot to mention, he didn't attack with Eater of Million last turn. Well, we'll just set and pass. He does summon a Predaplant, and he sets Eater of Millions! Or no, changes it to defense. Man, only if he knew these defense cards are absolute garbage. He does draw into a Predaplant, and then just passes. We do a Gemini Elf. I set the Heavy Storm and a Gemini Elf, and pass turn. Once again, he goes into a Pot of Duality. He sees 2 Battle Faders, and whatever trap card it is, he adds a Battle Fader. Well, okay, that's another thing we have to worry about. And we draw, the out to Eater of Millions, Change of Heart, but he does have a Battle Fader, so we just pass turn because it would be worthless. Anyways, he draws into a Grand Maju, and then passes. Think about it. He has 25 banished cards. Random Maju would be at 10,000 attack. Holy shit, he's playing way too conservative. Oh boy, howdy. I draw into a Sangan, just set the Sangan, only if he knew he was versing some shit deck. He draws into a trap and then passes once again, playing conservative. I draw the Confiscation. Let's go. I do get the Battle Fader out of there. Change a Heart, the Eater of Millions. Flip everything. Attack Gemini Elf, Mystic Tomato, another Gemini Elf, a Sangan. Tribute the Sangan for a Jinzo. Activate Sangan effect. I just decided to add Sinister Serpent for some reason. Attack, he does activate that Predaplant. That's going to do nothing though. I attack over for 24, and he decides to destroy the Eater of Millions. Well, this should be game. Gemini Elf 19, Gemini Elf again for 19, and then a Jinzo for 24. Holy shit, we won another duel. Fuck. Man, a 2-game win streak. Holy shit, maybe this deck is better than I thought it would. Because that's 2 more wins than I thought I was going to get. Man, as you can see across the pond, we are versing a Cyber Dragon deck. That's kind of a rogue status in the current metagame right now. Let's see what this deck can do. I do choose to go first here. I do choose to go first, activate the Forceful Sentry and rid of that spell card in hand. I do set the MST and a Gemini Elf and just pass turn. Now, he summons the Dre, activates Dre with the Variant Hand, turning both Cyber Dragons into a level 5, going into Nova. Nova will attack over the defense. My Gemini Elf going over. He does set one of his Mirror Force, and I do just MST during the end phase. going into my next turn. Not a monster, but we do get a Snatch Still the Cyber Dragon Nova, Monster Reborn, that Gemini Elf, and go in for some damage with a 19 and 21 beat 6, sending him down the 4,000. Now, during his standby phase, he does gain 1,000 life points with Snatch Still. Summons the dragon, another Cyber Dragon, and oh, he outs the Nova, and he 100 more attack for Gemini Elf, and oh shit. Now it's reversed. Must draw into something. I draw into a Dark Hole. I Harpy's Feather Duster that backfilled, which actually helps more, adding Cyber Dragon or Cyber Emergency. I pass turn because maybe if you can't OTK me, this Dark Hole can be helpful. Let's see what happens though. He draws into a Cyber Dragon. He activates Cyber Emergency, adding a Drytron. Cyber Dragon Nova, or Core, my bad. Activates Core, going to Cyber Repair Plant. Activates Cyber Repair Plant, going into a Galaxy Soldier. Activates Galaxy Soldier, sending the Cyber Dragon. Special summoning the Galaxy Soldier, activating its effect, add another Galaxy Soldier. And links off a Verte Anaconda, goes to Overlord Fusion, and summons, oh boy, what's that card called? He sends another 2. Oh shit, it means his effect can attack 3 times during the battle phase. And oh shit, yep, that is kind of game with nothing on field. He does just OTK me. Man, that was a rough one. Now back from the duels, and well, I was expecting to lose a lot more than we did. I was not expecting to have a positive ratio in that one. The conclusion? Basically the power spells. Snatch Still and Change of Heart came in handy so much. Monster Reborn as well. Even though we didn't see the Premature Barrel, it didn't matter because Monster Reborn is probably the better because we can take your opponent's monster like we did against the Dangers. But now the reason why we did win too is because, well, the Dangers did brick, and also the Eater a Million deck or Grand Maju deck decided to play way too conservative, thinking he was versing an actual good flip deck like Gurus or something, which he was not, and that benefited us more by, getting the out with Confiscation Guarantee, the Battle Fader, and OTKing him for that turn. In conclusion, yeah, there's a reason why these spells are fucking just broken. Snatch Still and Change of Heart probably never coming off the ban list. The hand destruction cards are probably never either. Think about it, Smoke Grenade just got banned, and that's a less powerful than these spells right now. Pot of Greed, there's just way too many other cards that do the same thing but actually have downside to ever come off the ban list. Again, we didn't see Pot of Greed. Again, it's not that much. We did see MST though, and even though it is power creep today, it's still a good card, and I think that this video shows that. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. I am going to make the whole series, making the whole World Championships, decks and everything in the next one. Now, like in this video, there was no ban list. In the next video, there will not be a ban list either, but it is the deck that eventually did make the ban list. What is it? It's CED Yada Luck. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.